The clock slowly ticks, 1 minute at a time, the larger hand moving slowly around the circular device. The rain heavily washes down onto my house as it feeds the woods outside all they need to satisfy their thirst. The rain outside sends music to the silence of my house as I am home alone in the silent house that stands in the wooded area. I sit alone at my table, drinking my cup of black coffee, feeling tired from all the hunting I did all week. It is now 4 o'clock in the evening, and time still ticks by slowly while the rain continues to lash. The afternoon is uneventful, just like my week has been, even with my hunting. Normally I'd be bringing home some game, but this week I have been unlucky. I've been missing too many shots, unlucky to kill my targets, and I'd lose them before I'd even chase them. Right now, I feel like a failure, at least for this week. I sit alone in the cozy house that I share with my fiancée, feeling depressed. I am only a young hunter, so maybe I just need more target practice, or so I think anyway. I think about what to do next, so luck may finally come. But then I hear something from the woods. It sounds like my fiancée calling my name, which is odd since she's not home until around 6:30 from work, except for Fridays when she's home much earlier. But today is only Thursday, so hearing her voice right now is strange. At first, I brush it off, thinking it's just my imagination. But then, I hear her voice again. It's a little closer this time. Then, I hear it for a third time, and a fourth, then a fifth, calling my name. This starts to weird me out, but what makes it even weirder is that it sounds as if my fiancé's voice has been recorded and put on repeat. This is when I start thinking that something weird is afoot. I contemplate going outside to check, but then think twice due to the heavy rain. It still lashes hard and looks as if it won't calm down anytime soon. However, I decide to risk it anyway, especially since I can't brush off the voice this time. I grab my revolver, pull on my hunting attire before slipping my arms through the sleeves of my heavy blue raincoat. I cautiously walk out of my house and into the opening of the heavily rained-on woods. I wait for the voice to return, but all I can hear is the rain. So, I try calling out. "Hello?" I call out. "Is that you, Laura? Are you out there?" I wait for 3 mere seconds, but I get nothing. Only silence. I call out for my other half once more. Still nothing. I hold my revolver in my hand as I try to call out for what seems like the 1,000th time, and I still get no response. The thought of my revolver possibly scaring off the voice, crosses my mind, causing me to put it in my holster and raise my voice to reassure myself that she can hear me. This time, there is a response. "Over here, Sam!" Laura's voice finally responds. I follow the direction of the voice in the woods, calling out once, even twice more as I go through the wet forest. Darkness consumes me as I wander further into the forest, the dying grass so soggy and full of mud. An uneasy feeling washes over me, causing my stomach to churn. I am not sure what in the world I am about to find, but whatever it is, it cannot be good. My hand begins to tremble with every step I take. Raindrops fall upon me while I attempt to wipe the moisture from my face. It isn't the best time to be searching for my fiancée. However, my determination to figure out the reason for this weird occurrence is stronger. Something moves in the nearby bushes as the voice calls out to me again. My head looks in all directions to find the source of the voice, yet I am not able to see anything, nor anyone. This isn't possible. Her voice, so clear and sweet, so close yet distant. How will I ever find her? The further my feet carry me into the damp and darkened forest, the further away the voice seems to be. But a strong smell suddenly hits me. The smell itself is off, a strong and odorous stench like that of a dead human body. It is truly unbearably awful that it is hard to not throw up. I try to keep it together, but as the smell gets worse, so does my gagging. I can still hear movement in the brushes, along with Laura's voice calling my name. Eventually, I stop walking, collapse onto the forest floor, and begin to violently vomit. The stench hits me really hard. It smells disgustingly awful. I have no idea what it is, nor where it is coming from. I can't even figure out the direction of the smell. Not like with the voice. It's as if it's all around me, as if it's coming from all directions. I cannot seem to pull myself together up from the forest floor. I begin to feel very ill, which is strange because I never get sick. I can feel the color in my face draining as the nauseating feeling gets stronger. That is how rancid the smell is. "Are you okay, Sam?" I hear Laura's voice say. I cannot tell the direction as to where the voice is, although it seems to be nearby. I am unable to tell if it's coming from my left, my right, in front of me, or behind me, until I feel something drop onto my hand. Rain? I wonder to myself. No, it isn't rain. No, this liquid is much warmer. I look down at my hand to see what the substance is, lifting my hand from the floor and resting it in front of my pale, ill-looking face. My eyes shoot wide open in shock as I stare at my hand. It's blood. My entire body tenses up as I stare at the droplet of blood on my skin. Another droplet falls onto my index finger, a third one, and then a fourth. Droplets continue to slowly fall onto me in intervals of 10 or so seconds. This is when I realize that it's coming from above. I hesitantly look upward into the forest sky to see. The forest, now darker than before, makes it harder to see what is above me. I do see something that catches my attention. Bright green eyes glow as they look down at me from the dark sky. They seem to be human. But if it is a person, then how in the hell are they that high up in the sky? What about the drops of blood? Is the person bleeding from an open wound? Is the person a skilled climber? And what about the stench? Nothing seems to make any sense at the moment, which causes me to further study the green eyes. Who's there? I call out, my voice shaking. The figure moves in closer. The bright full moon shining down somewhat reveals the face. I look closely at it. It's a woman's face. A human face. She seems like in her late 20s or early 30s. Silver shoulder-length hair blows onto her right cheek as the wind blows. She seems calm, but something is off. I notice something, or rather, some things on her head. I can't figure what they are though, but I know they're not human features. That's not the only thing I noticed though. Her fingernails seem to look like claws as her left hand rests on the trunk of a large tree next to her. I freeze in absolute terror, looking at whatever it is. It's there, above me. The lips on its mouth part, which catches me off guard. "Hello," it says calmly in my fiance's voice. This causes me to jump. I crawl backward, my back landing against a tree trunk behind me as this thing jumps down and lands 5 feet in front of me. It stands up, glaring at me while revealing its body. Oh my god, its body! Its skin is extremely pale, and the limbs... oh lord, the limbs are very thin! The skin also seems to be rotting as blood drops from its torso. The worst part though is what is on its head. What's on its head are sharp, blood-soaked antlers. I try to scream, but nothing comes out of my mouth. My eyes widen. Fear nestles deep within me. I have no idea what the hell is happening right now. This isn't possible. How can something this hideous have a human face? The creature leisurely walks toward me, a sickening smile resting on its lips. What are you? I struggle to ask. My name is Annie, it replies. What are you? I ask once more. I guess you could call me, well, you could figure that one out. You sound like my fiancée. Of course I do, silly. I did eat her after all. My jaw drops after Annie says that. How can it be? Laura is usually at work, or since it's dark, she would be at home wondering where I am. How could Annie get to her without my knowledge? Tears well to the brim of my eyes as I stare at Annie with not only grief but fear. How could you? I ask the creature in disbelief. My muscles start to tense up as anger starts to boil up inside me. The creature makes a sound. How could you? I furiously scream. How could you fucking... How could you already have eaten her? How and why? How? It was simple, really. I laid waiting in the shadows, my eyes focused solely on you. But then she got out of her car, and her scent was sweet. Instead of taking you like I had intended, I took her, and she tasted absolutely delicious. Annie wickedly chuckles. As to why, it's in my nature. That is what my kind does. I don't understand. I shake my head. My kind has been going extinct for a while now. It is hard for us to survive in this world. Why Laura though? She was in the right place at the wrong time. The creature cackles. I quickly crawl to my feet as the creature takes another step toward me. I do not know what this thing is, but I do not want to find out. I count to 3 in my head before running from the spot where I had been. The heavy footsteps of the thing chasing after me causes my heart to nearly leap out of my chest. The determination to get away is the only thing that keeps me from collapsing. I stumble over fallen tree branches. Bushes scratch at my face as I pick myself up to continue running. The chase seems never ending until something hits my foot. I can feel myself tumbling down a small hill even though the darkness allows me to hardly see anything underneath the canopy of leaves. My body lands on top something solid and something soft. My hands land in a liquid and squishy substance when I attempt to push myself up. It takes a moment for my eyes to adjust to the darkened pit that I seem to have landed in. However, laying underneath me is a pile of dead bodies. The majority of the corpses are already decomposed. Bones are the only thing that remain, while some are past the stage of decomposition, their entrails spilling out of the burst open stomachs, and there are a few newer looking bodies that have just recently been thrown down. My fiancée, Laura, happens to be the last one atop the pile. The most recent. Her glassed over eyes that were once full of fear now stare at the dirt beside her. The bugs crawling along her neck and worms slowly inching their way into the dampened soil. My eyes widen upon seeing my newly deceased other half. Her once beautifully tanned skin so pale and blue. My heart sinks to the pit of my stomach once the realization settles in. I have fallen into this pit of corpses. The soil is wet, therefore climbing out will not be an option, considering the entire side will crumble down atop the dead. The footsteps that were once chasing me stop just at the edge of the hole I am stuck in. The unsettling cackle from before echoing throughout the forest as my head tilts back to see that damned human face on that horrid creature. Being in this hole of corpses, I just know that this is where my life will end. I inhale a deep breath to try and keep myself calm. However, the warm, disgusting smelling breath hitting my left cheek causes a shiver to run down my spine. My eyes stare into the human-looking ones of the thing. Her red lips pull back into a sinister smile as her mouth opens. Sharp, dagger-like teeth sink into the flesh of my left shoulder. The sound of my skin being torn away from my body ripples in the quiet area. My entire body begins to tremble, my hand reaching up to touch the blood-covered wound where my shoulder had previously been. The creature makes odd sounds while chewing, the sickening smell of its breath in my face while my stomach churns for the second time tonight while my vision begins to fade. I can feel myself falling backward into the pile of corpses. Yet something solid catches me, that face peering down at me. This is how my life will end. Being eaten alive by that horrid thing. The darkness around me closes in as the sound of chewing rings in my ears. Laura, my sweet, innocent Laura. I will see you soon enough, I whisper.